This girl was attacked and killed by 3 orcas, and this is a massive trigger warning. This is 20-year-old Kelty Byrne, and she worked at a place called Sealand of the Pacific. It was basically just a knockoff SeaWorld. And of course, animals were either bred in captivity or captured from the wild, and they were then brought to places like this to entertain. Well, one day there was a show going on, and Kelty was a part of this show. And there was 3 orca whales inside of the tank. On February 20th, 1991, Kelty was standing near the edge of the tank. Kelty would then accidentally trip inside of the pool and she would try and swim out. But before she could grab onto the ledge, one of the orcas grabbed her and then began to drag her around the pool. And what happens next is an absolute nightmare. Between the 3 orca whales, they were tossing Kelty around like she was a toy. They would drag her deep underneath the water to the point where she was kinda drowning. And then they would just bring her back up to the surface, and the most disturbing part is, you can allegedly hear Kelty screaming, "I don't want to die," and then screaming for help at the top of her lungs. There was trainers nearby. They were doing everything they could, but they were completely unmatched for 3 huge orca whales. This went on for a decent amount of time as Kelty was essentially just being tortured by 3 orca whales. She was being dragged underneath the water, thrown in the air, and being pulled on by 2 whales. And eventually, the whales just bring her down deep underneath the water and she drowned to death. They weren't able to retrieve her body for 2 to 3 hours after this happened. She had bruises and bite marks all over her body. This is absolutely horrific, and I can't even imagine this happening. This is absolutely disturbing to talk about, and this is honestly one of the worst ways to die. Orcas are absolutely scary, and I cannot imagine being in her situation. May Kelty rest in peace, and this is just awful.